All righty. Yeah, Mutt was just in here a little bit ago, so it's fun.
I can smell him.
Yeah, yes.
I can smell the brain.
Well, here we are.
Yeah, baby.
Man, I am so glad. I'm loving doing this because I've done one or two of yours.
You've done at I recall at 3 for sure.
Yes.
And every time you were on an episode, the response from the audience was like, "Oh my God, how did you get Jim?"
Scaled the heights of mediocrity.
Yeah. That's right. I'm so grateful that people lower their expectations for us.
That's right. Oh man.
No,
man.
Listen, Chris and I were just talking. Nice. I'm very aware of your background. You and I came from the same.
Oh yeah,
same
area.
Yeah, and here we are.
The lap of luxury.
Yeah, Youngstown and Flint.
Yeah.
The Rust Belt, as it were.
Yes, that's right.
But here we are, and don't tell nobody, but man, we hit the freaking lottery, dude.
Oh, what you said.
God.
Amen.
Unbelievable. Jimmy and I are at a convention in Tampa, and we go home from these events exhausted from saying thank you.
Yeah, it's very true.
Anyway, it's a pleasure to be here, pal.
Yeah.
And we're still breathing.
And we're still here.
How about that?
More or less.
Day's not over.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, day's not over. Yeah, thanks for being here, pal.
Oh,
this is so nice.
Privilege.
This is so nice. We were just coming down the hall talking.
Yeah, this will blow your mind.
As usual. And it occurred to me because I started adding up in my head, okay, and I think I've worked with you I'm sure I couldn't remember all the series. Yeah. I'm sure I couldn't do it. But, forget the episodes. I mean, just the series themselves. But I think I've worked with you more than anybody else.
Wow, well.
Anybody else.
No wonder I've been so lucky. I got the cool stank of Jimmy on me.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Well, we did. Still to this day, one of my all-time favorite experiences with you was Bumpin' the Night.
Yes.
That was a show that was so good, and it got caught up in the Disney purchase of ABC.
That's right,
and we did another season that was all recorded, and they just didn't animate it.
They pulled the plug.
But man, we got to sing cool songs.
And it was claymation.
Yep. Very
One
cool.
of my favorite Mations.
Yeah.
Anna, Clay, Otto.
All right, good for you.
You know, the very big favorite Mation.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And I can tell you this. I remember the first time that we met.
When was that?
And it was at the world famous Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
It's Hanna-Barbera, and I'm styling in. I'm sure I was late, and I'm
Me too.
walking in, and I had a raggedy T-shirt on or something.
And your drumsticks.
And I did have my drumsticks, yes, and I've got them right back there just in case. Yeah. But I walked in, and you were standing there. And first of all, you had on your cowboy boots.
Yep.
You had on your jeans. He was fabulous, and he had you had on a cowboy shirt. And a string tie.
Oh my God, a bolo tie. What the hell was wrong with me?
Remember that? A bolo tie. And I thought,
wow.
I said, okay, this dude's, he's bringing it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember it.
We did. I mean, I know we all did a bunch of different stuff, but you and I got to do the Addams Family. And we got to work with John Aston Gomez, his own bad self.
Yes.
And Carol Channing was Grandma.
Oh,
Rip Taylor.
Rip Taylor, Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester. And Rip wasn't gay. He was freaking ecstatic.
Yes, yes. His feet never touched the ground.
He
was all over the place.
And you were Lurch.
I was Lurch because of my height.
Yeah, yeah. And Pat Fraley was Cousin It.
Yes.
And then I got to play a next-door neighbor and who was always concerned about what was going on. And my wife was Edie McClurg.
Yes, she was.
The woman who at Ferris Bueller, he's a righteous dude.
Yes, Ferris Bueller.
Our son was Dick Beals, who is long since passed away, but he was the same age as my parents. And if you guys look up Dick Beals online, he was a small person, but everything was proportional.
Yeah,
he was a small person.
Yeah,
who never grew out of like sort of 8-year-old size.
Yes.
And his voice.
Nor did his voice change.
Right. It changed up. It was always up here. So here's this guy I'm working with who is, 64 years old. And he was the voice of Speedy Alka-Seltzer when we were kids. He was the voice of Davy on Davy and Goliath.
Yeah, that's right.
And check this out. He was also an excellent salesman. He comes to work one day with his book called Think Big.
So he did.
Yeah. And he was a remarkable guy. Flew his own plane, a really cool guy. So he comes, he says, Rob, I just got my book back from the publisher, and I really would love for you to have a copy. I think you're a fine young man. I said, oh, thank you, Mr. Beals. That's very, not at all, not at all. And so I said, well, thank you. So he signed it to me, to Rob, Think Big, Dick Beals. I said, thank you so much, Dick. And I started to walk away to go to work. He goes, that'll be $9.95.
God, I remember that stuff.
And I turned around. I wasn't going to be mean. I said, oh, of course. And so I said, I'm so sorry. All I've got's a 20. Oh, I've got change. So
Yeah.
I thought, now you're good. He's already inscribed it to me. Didn't mention money until.
Yeah. It's too late.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So he gave you back a 10, and then you said, nickel.
Yeah, that's
Nickel.
right. Yeah.
You know?
Think bigger.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was at that.
Don't
all
think
of the
that
stuff
big.
we've gotten to do together.
Don't think big at my expense.
I even got. Let's see. I remember going to I think it was your 50th
Probably
birthday
40th,
party
maybe.
at the Canyon Club.
Oh, that was 50th, yes.
Right, and then the 60th.
Many years ago.
Yeah, tell me about it. And then the 60th out at Westlake.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had the
Yeah.
being at your home in Camarillo a million years ago,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and playing in the Tasmaniacs,
We were the Tasmaniacs.
right, with you and Debbie at Knott's Berry
Derryberry.
Farm. We were playing Walk the Dinosaur.
Yeah. Yeah, and Keith Baxter.
Oh
and-
my God.
Oh my gosh.
And Tasmania.
Yeah.
Every Friday.
Every Friday. And they were very gracious because I begged them. I said, now, if there's any way, I mean, I couldn't be happier to be Taz.
Yeah.
And I remember we were at the Voicecaster. We went through all of this, all of the audition process.
Oh, God.
And I was following Noel Blanc,
Yeah.
Mel's
Right,
son.
kid, yeah.
And Art Vitello was our director.
Yeah.
And I walked in and I thought, I said, oh God, this would be so cool to get this one, iconic character.
Yeah.
And I had known Art anyway because we worked on different other projects. And he said, well, you're following a tough act. And I said, who's that? He goes, Noel Blanc. And I go, oh God,
Yeah.
Mel's son? And he go, and I said, oh, that's right. I think I saw it on Entertainment Tonight that he was doing that.
Right.
And it was kind of, it was a bit of an eye roller.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Mel Blanc was sitting in there and he goes, well, how you doing there, son? And he goes, no, Dad, I don't think that Bugs would say it that way. And they go, oh, gee, and I can't do Bugs.
Ouch.
But it was, and you're just
know.
wondering, it was cringeworthy.
I get that you're doing this with your kid, and God bless you, but you're Mel fucking Blanc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But the kicker was he said, he went in and he was auditioning for Taz, and he goes, well, there's not really any auditioning for Taz. It's like this. There are 5 voices.
Oh,
there are
Jesus.
5 no's. Wah, ooh, wee, ah, and he go and I goes, that's
He said that to Art?
yeah, that's the audition.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Whoa. And
Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
Yeah. And it was something like that. So I went in and I said, oh boy. And I could tell you,
I get paid for doing this.
And here's a fun little fact. It's the actual one they used in the beginning of the show. They used the first
Are you kidding?
the first words out of my mouth as Taz, they used in the
At the end of the...
down to Tasmania, come to Tasmania. We mean you.
Are you kidding me?
And that was the one they used. It was in the show. The first thing
Wow.
you heard from Taz.
And every Friday
Oh.
at
At Soundcastle.
Soundcastle,
Yeah.
way the hell in Glendale or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You and Mo would come with your comic books,
Yes.
and you guys would always go like the Golden Apple and come over.
Yes.
And Keith Baxter, Art,
Oh, yeah.
and Debbie was on that show, and Miriam Flynn,
Yeah.
and Dan Castellaneta.
Yeah.
Oh, my
yeah.
God, it was every Friday.
Tiz. Right, Tiz. Oh, that was
I
so much
laughed
fun.
my ass off every Friday.
Oh, God.
What
It was
an
amazing.
incredible Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and I lucked out. I just begged him to do it on Friday because
Because
I
it
would
tears
fry
you
my
up.
pipes.
Oh yeah.
Then I had the weekend to.
Yeah, no, you and Frank.
to
In fact,
recover.
and Mo did Yosemite Sam for years, and he
Yeah.
finally said to Fred Tatasciore, "I'm done. I can't do it anymore."
Oh, wow.
Do you still get? I mean, well, wait a minute. With the Looney Tunes reboot over it, you were doing a lot of that stuff over there.
Yeah,
Right?
I did. I was Yosemite Sam about 2 or 3 times, but
And you did
but-
Taz too.
yeah, yeah, and it was. But I think it was a couple of them on Animaniacs. He was a guest
Oh yeah.
goof.
Well, you did quite a few Animaniacs, didn't you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I did a mess of them.
Pinky and the Brain too. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and
Pinky the Brain.
Turtles, you were Shredder.
Well, oh yes, absolutely, and that's what I was saying earlier. I realized, I think that you and I have been on more shows, more series,
Yeah.
than, or just work together. Period. More than anybody else that I can think of.
Well,
It was me and you. I mean, Rude Dog.
oh my God.
I mean,
And that's being
Biker
rebooted.
Mice. Yeah, it's
Rude
being
Dog-
rebooted.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Rude
glad
Dog and
we're
the
not in
Dweebs.
it.
Yeah, I was Rude Dog. Jimmy was,
I was
Scratch.
Satch.
Satch.
Ah.
Yeah. Frank Welker,
Yeah.
Peter Cullen,
Yeah.
Megatron, and Optimus Prime. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Dave Coulier,
Yeah.
Uncle Joey from Full House,
Yeah.
yours truly, Hank Soroyan, the creator, or not creator, the producer,
Yeah.
and Ellen Gerstel and Mindy Siegel.
Yes.
But
yes.
man, another one. The show, it was on CBS for a year or two or something. But another one. It's just, we laughed our guts out every time. What a group.
Unbelievable. And they paid us.
Yeah. Rude Dog and the Dweebs.
Yeah. And I think, and the Dweebs, that's what it was.
And Biker Mice is being
Biker
rebooted
Mice.
by Ryan Reynolds.
Of course.
Ryan Reynolds has a company, his own production company called Maximum Effort. Biker Mice was purchased by a Canadian company called Nacelle.
Mm-hmm.
They now are releasing all the updated toys, and they're doing a new series, an animated series produced by Ryan Reynolds.
Wow.
How about
Who
that?
better?
Yeah, it's everything old is new again.
I love that guy.
He's cool.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Ryan Reynolds
Oh,
fan.
yeah,
I
me
love
too.
his offhanded, cool, especially as Deadpool. He's just
Deadpool, that was, oh my God.
Perfect.
Yeah, that is
If I could throw
really
my
phenomenal.
2 cents in here, I really like how he represents for Vancouver. Too.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I'm a Vancouver guy.
yeah.
Like so many people, they leave Vancouver and just like leave it behind, and like he really represents.
Yeah.
I heard that he really fought for the Deadpools to be filmed in
that
Vancouver.
great?
Like,
No,
yeah.
he's
even
and
on the train there. He makes like the announcements every
love
now
that.
and then. Like you'll be riding the Sky train.
No way.
His voice will come on, be like announcing the next stop.
Oh, jeez.
that is great.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm originally from Detroit, and I love to talk about how much I love Detroit. The fact that he does that, same thing with Mo. Mo's from Toronto. Tara
Yeah.
Strong is from Toronto.
Yeah.
And Toronto and Vancouver are world-class cities, man.
Oh, beautiful cities
Stunning.
too.
The airport in Vancouver, I'd live there.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, Ryan is, he's a cool movie star. There seems to be no
Yeah.
pretense about him
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
And I dig that. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Oh, I agree, man. But
He's like the Jim Cummings of movie stars.
there you go. I was just gonna say that. Oh wait, no, I wasn't. But I was thinking about it, and my gosh, the shows that you and I have done, the series, Animaniacs and
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
I got to
and
be,
just
a Steelbeak.
Steelbeak. Yeah.
Darkwing Duck, you were
Addams Family,
Addams Family, Bump in the Night.
Rude Dog.
Rude Dog.
It was either you were the lead guy on the show, or almost I was. I mean,
Yeah.
we did Bonkers, we did Darkwing, we did.
Sure.
Any
Rescue
number of
Rangers.
Rescue Rangers. You were all over Rescue Rangers.
It's.
You were Lieutenant somebody. I can't remember who.
I don't know. I remember that.
Yeah.
Wasn't
And Peter Cullen was the first Monterey Jack.
Jack. Right.
Yeah, he did half of them.
Right.
Then halfway through, Ted Stones or somebody decided to switch over.
Yeah.
And they go, well, we want you to do Monterey Jack now. And I go, wait, we're like 30 shows in. And he goes, well, here, I'll play you your original
Audition.
audition. And I said, wow, that kind of accidentally. I mean, Peter wasn't there, and I wasn't at his. But I said we sort of sound alike on it. So why?
Yeah, why?
Why? Because I'm already on the show doing
Yeah.
all these other characters, and so that's comfortable.
Yeah.
You know. Oh yeah, let me go and
Also, you're
be
friends.
Monterey Jack in front of the guy.
Yeah.
And then, but that just zing right over their head. So I ended up switching into Monterey Jack. And
It's really weird how that happens. You did you did the Tick too, didn't you do the Tick?
Oh, yeah, I did a bunch
Art
of them.
Patello.
Yeah.
I auditioned and got the job as Arthur, his
Yes.
sidekick, Townsend
Sidekick.
Coleman.
Yeah, Tony's
who's
a tick.
Michelangelo and Turtles as well.
Oh yeah.
And the night before we did the first episode, Sue Blue, our director, called and she said, "Hi, honey, it's Sue." I said, "Hey, I'm really looking forward to March." She said,
honey.
"Yeah." About that. I said, "Is everything okay?" She said, "Well, the folks at Fox really would like to put a celebrity in, and they wanted Arthur to be a celebrity." I said, "Oh, okay. Well, so I'm not. No, you're going to be in all of them doing something, but they really would prefer." So
Yeah.
I said, "Well, you know what? That's show business, but you guys are going to no, Rob, thank you for calling me.
Yeah.
Who's the celebrity?"
So Laurence Olivier was really good in it, though.
Yeah.
He really was. You got to admit.
it was great. So I said, "Well, who's the celebrity?" I got Mickey Dolenz. Now,
As in,
no offense, I loved the Monkees.
me too.
And Mickey's a great guy, but I thought it was going to be, Howie Mandel or
Yeah.
somebody
yeah.
who was the
Yeah.
hot at the moment.
And he brought what again to it?
Yeah, and I said, well, and he was great, did
Yeah.
fine. So I was
bum.
still on the first and then then at the end of the first 13, I got a phone call again saying, "Hi, Robbie, it's Sue. They want you to do. Mickey's going to go on the road doing theater, and would you be okay doing Arthur?" And I said, "Well, yeah,
Gee, I don't know.
I'd
Would
love
I?
to." But I said, "Now, I know I don't have any sway here, but can you at least sort of give me a handshake agreement that if Mickey gets done with his theater and comes back, you guys will try to stick with me? Because that would be a little embarrassing." And they said,
Yeah.
"No problem." So the next 26, I did Arthur.
Oh, good.
But that was another show that was way ahead of its time.
Oh, I agree.
Smart.
Oh, yeah.
And boy, Art Patello, I've not seen Art forever, but Art is
Yeah.
an animator and a director.
yeah.
And boy,
He was special.
really,
He was really something else.
all the people with whom Keith Baxter,
Yeah, he did all the Tasmanias,
oh
too.
my God, and
Yeah.
incredible guitar player, musician, and world-class Peter Hastings, writers.
Yes.
Yeah,
And he was so good, he played bass. He had 5 strings on his
that's
bass.
right. He had an extra one.
That's pretty bass.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, I love this. Getting
Yeah.
a chance to reminisce and talk with
oh, yeah.
people whom you would choose to have in your life, and our job is the happy business.
Yeah.
Are you
You get paid to hang out with him.
kidding me?
Yeah.
The number of times, Chris, that we would have to stop rolling because we were, busting each other
Cutting
up.
up too much.
We were like the Harvey Korman and Tim Conway.
yeah.
And
yeah.
everybody, Billy West, Maurice, Tress
yeah.
McNeil, Frank.
Just down the line. Yeah.
Yeah. And
God.
the number of times I've gone to bed at night just thinking,
Yeah. Thank you, Lord.
in the Sound of Music, I must have done something good because I don't know how on earth
Yeah.
we got here.
Yeah. Well, I flew.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
So-
that's what. How'd you get here? How did we get?
I think it was United.
Blue. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty
no,
sure.
it's it is
Yeah.
never not wonderful, pal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then we get to come to these conventions. We're at one now.
Yeah.
We're here in the world famous Paris.
Right?
No, wait.
Right on the water in Tampa,
Tampa, yes.
Tampa Bay,
Oh, yes.
and there's
And Pirates just went by. Come
Pirates went by.
on.
There's a caution manatee area.
Yes.
So yeah, this is a remarkable thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of you folks out there have been fortunate enough to see Jimmy at some of these events, and
Both of us.
the recurring theme that I hear from fans over and over, and it should be a given, but it's remarkable to me when they say, "Oh my God, you guys are so nice." Well, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Why would we not be?
Yeah.
And-
nobody ever tells me I'm nice. They go,
They
God,
go-
you're
they
a
go
real
up and say,
wang, aren't you?
I have to tell
I
you,
get that
Rob
a lot.
Paulsen is really nice.
Yeah.
But
What a schmuck.
honestly, this is the only time where I get a little tongue-tied is because why would we not be?
Oh, yeah.
Chris and I were talking, especially with Winnie.
Yeah.
That is a character that
Yeah.
literally lives in the hearts of millions of people. And the number of times I've seen you do Winnie and see grown men and women crumble
Yeah.
because of what that means to them.
Yeah.
Because somebody is now gone from their life, or this was my brother passed away, but you'll never know. And a couple years ago, when the Christopher Robin movie came out,
Oh, boy. Yeah.
check this out. I remember seeing you at work, and I said to you, dude, I'm telling you, if there's anybody that is going to be nominated for an Oscar
Oh,
as a voice talent, I mean, this is crazy. The next week, there was an article in Vanity Fair with Ewan McGregor on the front, and the caption says, there is a Oscar-worthy performance in Winnie the Pooh, and it's not Ewan McGregor. It was Jimmy, pardon me, fucking Cummings. And that
how'd
was
you know my middle name?
not a surprise at all.
Oh, thanks,
I'm telling
buddy.
you, dude,
Thank you.
you
Yeah, that was lovely.
everybody knows how good you are, etc.
That was
But
lovely.
you lit that movie up.
Oh, thanks, man.
And Ewan even talked
Coming
about
from
you.
Yeah, he was very gracious.
It's
Nice guy.
a
He
remarkable.
owes me $5, though.
How about that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jesus.
$5 for what?
Movie star,
No, I
schmovie
might have
star.
made that up. But,
No,
yeah.
it's just.
Yeah, he's
it
a
is-
great guy.
It's the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And the number of times I've been working with you or Frank or Tress and Billy, Mo, and we're working with movie stars or
Oh, yeah.
film people who come in,
yeah.
and then they watch Jimmy start to riff and do. They literally say, "I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're expecting, but I don't do that."
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and they go, "No, we hired you to be whatever."
Yo,
But,
yeah,
but
well,
it
you're very-
really is. You see big time recognizable movie stars who are dumbstruck when Tress starts riffing or Frank,
sure.
Frank goes off and
Oh, yeah.
yeah. It's really something to watch.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, well, it's a specialty.
It is.
It's a
Don't tell
specialty.
nobody. We don't
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had no idea you guys had known each other for so long.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
has to be since the mid '80s.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
Oh, it's
wow.
got to be.
So
yeah.
right
When
from
did
the
you come to LA?
Almost from the beginning of your career. Huh?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
very much so. Yeah, because the first couple of jobs I got was at Hanna-Barbera, and that's
Yeah.
where we first met.
And that was about
I don't even remember
1986, 87.
Yeah, I don't remember the show. I don't think it was Flintstone Kids, but it was. It
I don't either.
could have been.
There were so many shows that didn't, like Wildfire and Snorks, which was Smurfs underwater.
Oh, that's right.
But
yeah.
you go in and you're working with Ruth Buzzy and Artie Johnson.
Yeah, and
All these people that we grew up
Jonathan
watching.
Winters.
Yeah, Jonathan Winters
Yeah.
on Laugh-In. And Jonathan used to have his own TV show on CBS. And at the end of every show, the stagehand would just throw him a hat. And he'd put it on and go. And
yeah.
the first time I worked with Jonathan, I worked with him, I don't know, half a dozen times.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I got to work in the late, great Gordon Hunt, the director at Hanna-Barbera, Helen's father.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob,
Yeah.
Jonathan Winters here today. You want to sit next to him?
Maybe.
So I sit next to Mr. Winters, and Gordon says, look, we just so you know, it's probably not a surprise, but we always build in an extra half an hour or so because Jonathan's going to riff, and we don't want him to stop
Yeah.
because it's a free show.
Yeah.
He's Robin Williams' hero.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was sitting next to Mr. Winters, and he had the first line, and Gordon rolls, and he says, okay, Jonathan, blah, 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 take one, and off you go. So he nudges me like this, and he's pretending like he's looking down the barrel of a gun. Now, forgive me, this is what he said. He said, shoot the priest, it'll stop those Mexicans in their tracks. And I thought, holy shit, we're at the Alamo. And I said, oh, okay. So I said, you got it, Colonel Travis.
Oh, wow.
I thought, I'm a badass. I'm playing with Jonathan Winters, and I got it.
Yeah.
And so here's how good he was. He goes, Colonel Travis is up loading stuff with Davy Crockett. I'm Jim Bowie. Shoot the goddamn priest.
Oh, no. That's wonderful.
Isn't that something?
Oh, God.
And
so did you shoot the priest or not?
Shoot
Don't keep
the
us in
priest and
suspenders.
you'll stop the Mexicans in their track because we're at the Alamo. Okay. So I got done, and I said, Mr. Winters, what do you say? What a pleasure.
What do you say? Yeah. It's like talking to Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
That's what it is.
One of those where you call your mom and dad and say, you're not going to believe.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he said, come on, we'll talk. And okay. So we walk out in the parking lot to his car, and he did 20 minutes for me in the parking lot.
Yes.
Maude Frickert, Chester Honeyhugger.
I bet I saw that.
Oh.
Because I was sitting out there and I was doing pickup lines. And I'm looking out, and I think it was you and oh God, I don't
was
know, two or
probably
three other
someone else,
people.
yeah.
Yeah, there were people, and John is sitting going.
We didn't want to stop.
And he's making that face that he always made.
And part of, like Robin,
Yeah.
part of his genius was his madness.
Ooh.
And,
yeah.
you know, I used to hear from people who knew him well and said, oh, yeah, Gary Owens.
Yeah.
Those stories about
Gary
Jonathan
Owens.
being, you know,
Aren't stories.
yeah. Or Mrs. Winters, hi, this is the Burbank Police Department. Everything's fine. But Mr. Winters, you know, was at the Ralphs and talking to the frozen turkeys, and he's okay, but we just want to let you know he's going to be a little late coming home. He's on his way. And that, he said, oh, yeah. Oh, totally. And that was part of his genius.
Yeah.
He couldn't not do it.
Yeah.
Same with Robin.
Yeah. I can't not do it.
Can't not do it. And
Yeah.
for better or for worse, nobody wanted him to stop.
No.
Jesus.
No, hell no.
What an incredible
I remember one time,
stuff.
and your boy Rip Taylor, because I always brought drumsticks around. I got him sitting over there, and I would just diddly bop like this, and Rip goes, and he goes, hand him a stick, just one, just hand him one drumstick. So he did. He went over there. So he said, oh, Kemosabe, hold right there. Got you, you little bastard. You know, and he was off, and he goes, must kill Crockett.
Yeah.
You know, or something, you know, and what are you doing?
It was effortless. And I'll tell you what, you guys out there, you're younger. Just when you have a moment, Google or go to YouTube and say, you know, Jonathan Winters Tonight Show. And a bunch of it will come up. And you guys probably don't know Johnny Carson, don't remember, but every time he'd have Johnny right here, and Johnny could not get his breath.
Yeah.
And the same thing with me. My mom and dad would say, all right, you can stay up and watch the Tonight Show. Jonathan's on this week.
Jonathan's on this week. Yeah.
And there was one, the Tonight Show was originally hosted by Steve Allen a million years ago. Then there was a guy named Jack Parr who hosted it. So if you look for Jack Parr, P-A-A-R, two A's.
Two A's.
Jonathan Winters. It's the same thing. Jack gives him a stick. That's it. Wow. And it's this, and it's riding crop, and it's stupendous.
Yeah.
And the reason I get so excited is because it is so inspiring to watch that, and the gift of that guy. And Jimmy and we got to see it right here. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And to have that here. Crazy.
It was crazy. I remember one time he had us. I think you might have been there, but he said, "Well, I'm much better today. I'm much better today. The other day was terrible. I was going up to a CV. I was going to a goddamn drugstore.
Yeah.
for God's sake. And this woman comes up to me and she says, oh my God, Jonathan Winters, I just can't believe I'm running into you at Jonathan Winters. And I told that little shit, I said, God damn it, I am sick and tired of being mistaken for that asshole. And he said, Jonathan Winters, Jonathan, you know who you look like? Just let me take a guess. Jonathan Winters. I hate him. I can't stand him. I'm a dental surgeon from Saugus.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, and he goes on and on and on, and he berates this woman. He goes, "Oh, I'm ever so sorry. I mean, well, you don't really, I guess, but you really kind of do look like him." And I'm so, you know what? I'm just gonna go shopping. All right, go on, Huffy. You're not even gonna ask me for an autograph. You know. And what the hell? What
Unbelievable.
And he did that in the parking lot of an A&P or something.
Oh, yeah. He just couldn't not
Yeah, he couldn't turn it off.
And he and Frank were very close friends.
Yeah.
And
Frank Welker, folks.
Yeah, Frank Welker.
Who you know better as everything.
He has been doing Freddy on Scooby-Doo since 1969.
Wow.
Since Woodstock.
Wow. Ooh.
You know, since the moon landing.
The actual, that's right.
Unbelievable. And
That's good.
he's been doing Scooby since Don Messick passed away.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I got my first gig at Hanna-Barbera was a reboot of Johnny Quest. And I got to be Haji.
Yeah, you were Haji.
I was Haji, Sim Sim Salabim. And I loved that show when I was a kid. It was a
me
Friday
too.
night, ABC. Yeah, great jazz.
Yeah.
Great. And it was at primetime ABC cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got this gig and I'm thrilled to death, but it never occurred to me that when I walked into work the first day that the real Dr. Quest, Don Messick, was there. And so I shake his hand and I missed my first line because he starts out and he goes, careful, Johnny, there's a blah, 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 Haji. And I was so dumbstruck.
You're sitting there.
That it's kind of like what happens to us now. Yeah.
Yeah.
My ear just went back to, I'm
You
in
were 8 years
Livonia,
old.
Michigan, watching Johnny Quest, and that's him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Surreal.
Yeah. I had that with John Aston the first time.
Yeah.
You know,
We start doing Gomez, you know,
and I was sitting there going,
Cara Mia. Oh my God.
oh, wait, I'm Lurch. Sorry.
Yeah, it was, and I got to work with Mel Blanc twice, and
so
Gordon,
cool.
same thing. Rob, you want to sit? We were doing a Jetsons project, and talk about, you know, that dumbstruck.
Yeah.
I'll never get the pleasure to meet you, Mr. Blank, young man. Well, he's probably close to 80,
Yeah.
and he was Mr. Spacely.
Oh, that's right.
Jetson, I want this
That's
on my.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm working with Mel Blanc, and I said, Mr. Blanc.
Yeah.
Like anyone
you know, what
with
are you
a
gonna?
pulse.
Yeah. What do you say? Like I say, talking to Mount Rushmore.
Right. I'm just such a, thank you. Well, thank you, young man. And I said, if it's not too much trouble, would you, and he took off his glasses and, yeah, what's up, Doc? And that's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
And it gives me chills now because I
Sure.
just sat there and I didn't really know what to say. What's up, Doc? Period. End of story.
Yeah. Yeah. That's,
And to this day, and all of this that Jimmy and I and Chris are talking about, this is utterly authentic, really. I can't believe I got to do that stuff.
oh, I know. Do I agree with you? You know, and I remember running into you. We were doing something. We've only done a million things, and you came up to me where I think we're at B&B Sound, and you said, "You're never gonna guess who I worked with."
Wait a minute.
And I said, "Okay, you're right. I won't." The Beatles. And you said close.
Yes, you're gonna. I was just thinking about this story. Tell them.
Yes. And by the way, and there's a documentary about the person I'm about to mention that will kill you to death. It gives me.
I can't believe
goosebumps.
this is.
Yeah.
I was going to say. Go ahead.
We're Physic.
Yeah.
And he goes. He says. You said. Well, I mean, all I could tell you is this: I've never worked with anybody this incredible, anybody this legendary, anybody this, and I said, okay, what was it? And you go, womp bam loo bam da womp bam boom, I got a girl named Daisy. And
She
I said,
almost drives me
Little
crazy.
Richard.
Got a girl named Daisy. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm blowing you
Sorry, I
out.
blew out the- oh,
Little
man.
King Richard. And Jimmy and I are, rock and roll
Oh, forget about
to
it.
the bone. And Chris, it was an episode of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Thank
That's
you
what
for
it
bringing
was.
that up.
Yeah.
I walked in and it was about the birth of rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
And I got there and Gordon said, "Hey, Robbie, I know you like rock and roll. You know who's in today?" I said, "No, George Carlin coming in?" Because he was on the show, but he recorded by himself.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, "No, Little Richard." I sat next to him
Mount Rushmore's
again.
coming in.
Yes, and everything. He had the makeup and the do, and he was all so fine. I mean, he was spiffed up. He had a posse of boys coming with him.
Yeah.
Woo, all over the place. And I think that's the only time I've asked for an autograph. I had my script, and I said,
Yeah.
"Mr. Sure."
I remember you told me that.
He said, "To Rob, God loves you so much, Little Richard." And I thought, oh my God, Richard Penniman is right here. Check this out. I said, Jimi Hendrix was your guitar player? He goes, "Yeah, I had to fire his ass." And I said, "Why?" Because he's too pretty. He's too pretty. This was my show. They come to see me.
He was too pretty.
Now, he did fine. He was a nice young man, God rest his soul. But I
And
fired
apparently
his
he
ass
could play
because he's too
guitar.
pretty.
Yeah.
He's too pretty. And then, check this out. I'm sitting next to him, and he says, "Gordon, I don't mean to be, bothersome. I mean, I'm glad to be here. How late will we go today?" And Gordon said, "We'll be done in an hour." "Oh, that's great." And he said, because Eric is picking me up. We're going to see Paul at the Forum. Eric Clapton
Yeah.
and he were going to see Paul McCartney.
Wow.
Yeah.
I get home.
That works.
And it wasn't pretentious because
Because
he knows them.
Well,
and
yeah.
those guys,
No, they know him.
he inspired them.
Yeah.
And I'm really just freaking out. And I got home and I told my wife, "Here, look at this, not going to believe." And that night on the Channel 4 News, I said, "Well, we're going over to a big event at the Forum, and there's Little Richard and Eric Clapton and Paul McCartney."
Jeez, oh man.
I
Which one of them was-
lost my mind.
Oh yeah. What do you do? What do you do with that?
Jesus, I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah. Oh, it's unforgettable, and I wasn't even there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, we all. I mean,
Yeah.
it's an embarrassment of riches, brother.
Oh,
I don't,
ain't it
and
the
I hope I didn't
truth?
blow you out too much, pal. Good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what a ride, huh?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Man.
And it's good, and hopefully some of you out there actually know who Little Richard is.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, a lot of my references are all of a sudden who. I'm so sorry.
Jimmy and I were the entertainment at the Last Supper, so we've been around for a while.
That's right.
No, Little Richard literally was there at the birth of rock and roll. Little Richard, Chuck Berry,
was the birth of rock and
Elvis,
roll.
yeah. And Little Richard got screwed by his record
Like nobody
company
else.
over and over again. And the
Yeah.
amount of money that folks who took advantage of those artists in those days made,
Back then, yeah,
heartbreaking.
Chuck Berry too.
Chuck
yeah.
Berry. And people used to say, "Jesus, Chuck Berry seems kind of surly and angry." Well, why the fuck wouldn't he be?
Why wouldn't you be? Yeah.
The guy's got, he writes Good Morning Little Schoolgirl and Johnny Be Good.
Oh.
And the guy's got to go on, do concert dates when he's 78 years old because he's
Yeah.
got to pay the rent. Bullshit.
Yeah. Well, Springsteen
bet he's
tells
angry.
the story that they apparently Chuck had a thing. Chuck Berry had a thing toward the end of his career that he'd say, "Okay, you want Chuck Berry to come? Okay, I want a suitcase full of money, and I want $10,000 in it. You got a half hour out of me, and I ain't bringing no band. You bringing a band, and they better know my music."
Yep. That's
And
it.
so, and Springsteen tells the story that he was playing it earlier in his career at like New York State Fair somewhere, and they hired Little Richard, and he got wind of it, and the promoter saying, "Well, I got to dig up a band. No, we'll do it. We'll do it. No.
E Street Band.
No, you're not looking for a band.
Yeah,
We'll
do it.
his band.
How about that?
And so Bruce Springsteen, the E Street Band, got to back up Little Richard at the New York State Fair
See?
with cows in the background and
Isn't that
people
cool?
selling
It meant
corn
as
on
much
the
to
cob.
Bruce frickin' Springsteen as it does to Jimmy and
Oh
me.
yeah! Oh, wow!
That
to everybody.
that is such a different level. And to literally be there watching this guy, sweat on his, just like he always did. Tons of makeup, dressed to the nines, little Richard.
Yeah.
And then the kicker,
Yeah.
I'm leaving. There was a little music room with a crappy spinet piano there at Hanna-Barbera. And we'd go there and rehearse songs to record. And
I forgot about that.
Walking out, and Chris Zimmerman, who used to be there working there as Gordon's assistant, Rob, come on back. I said, what? Did I miss something? No, you got to check this out. So Richard found out that there was a piano. And I stick my head, he's going, I'm going to tell Aunt Mary about Uncle John. He said they got the blues, but they got a lot of fun. Oh, baby, baby.
Wow, that's the key, too.
And he was just doing it because he could.
Yeah.
And everybody was just going, oh my God, just banging the shit out of the piano.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love you. Good to see you. Goodbye.
Oh.
I know. It's just.
Yeah. Well, I think I told you my Ray Charles story. Well, I don't want to repeat myself, but.
Oh, you were telling me. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was the one.
This is a great story.
I have no idea. This got to be like 15 years ago, maybe 20. And I was back at LAX and I was getting ready to go home. I don't remember where I was coming from, maybe Ohio. I'm walking down one of those big long halls.
Yeah.
And there was nobody there, but these four guys are come walking up, and one of them's really really having a tough time staying on his feet. But he's cool looking and he's dressed to the nines and he's got his shades up here. And I'm walking and I'm going, oh my God, it's Ray Charles.
Ray freaking Charles.
And I didn't know what to say, so I went, Ray Charles. And he goes, how you doing, baby? So I was baby. Ray Charles called me baby.
Oh my God.
And that's the closest I could come to your story. You win.
Oh.
But at least it was Ray Charles.
No, it's the coolest.
Yeah.
And what's so great is that, all your heroes, Clapton, Jeff Beck, Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, all of them, they shake when they talk about Richard and Chuck Berry and Elvis, Carl Perkins.
Well, without them, there
Jerry
was no Beatles.
Totally. And
so forget it.
Another little Richard thing.
Yeah.
I said, so you're going to see Paul McCartney? He said, yeah, well, I've known Paul for years. I said, well, you played with them. Oh, no. They opened for me.
Yeah.
The Beatles opened for me. And I mean, it's like, okay.
Wow.
Just so you know.
Not many people can say that.
Yes. How cool is that?
Wow.
And that little clip that they showed on KNBC was Paul, doing this to little Richard.
Oh, yeah.
And Eric is just talking about, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
So for a knucklehead from Flint, Michigan, who was in a couple of bar bands.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Amen. Wow. It's been a beautiful ride, huh?
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
And thanks to you guys, it's not over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We both still are, fortunate enough to work back in LA in the traditional sense.
You said, yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
to have this second wind, and we're old enough to have this stupid legacy of killer work
Oh, yeah.
that has appealed to literally billions of people around the world.
Yeah.
And we're young enough to do this, because there will come a time where you're going, man, I want to, but I just can't do it. In fact, I remember seeing
Knock on.
Carol Spinney, the Big Bird, who was the guy who was in Big Bird.
Oh, yeah.
And he went to the last 4 or 5 cons that I saw him before he passed away, and he was, 87.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there like this, and he'd sign like this, and I thought, oh my God,
Oh. God
I don't
bless
want
him,
anybody to see that. you know?
Yeah.
So while I can do this, I can't not do it. The effect of all this work that we were paid really well to do is bigger than our paycheck, bigger than ratings, bigger than action figures. It is this crazy expression of joy and love and kindness that has no bearing on your sexual predisposition or your color or your age, what part of the world you're from. You go and say, Los Tortugas Ninjas, Kawabunga, or
Dude.
yeah, I was in Abu Dhabi a year ago with the original Turtle guys.
Oh, yeah.
I see several hundred lovely men and women dressed in traditional, Arabic clothing. Turtle power, turtle power. And they could speak English perfectly. I couldn't speak their language.
Oh, boy. Yeah,
they
no
said,
kidding.
We learned to speak English what? We love Donatello.
Oh,
Crazy.
that's amazing.
And the
How
same
cool
thing
is
with Winnie
that?
the Pooh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Timeless. So, yeah, thank you. I mean, we got nothing without you guys.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate in one sense because Taz doesn't have to be translated
Yeah.
into any nobody's dubbing me.
That's right. You want to hear Taz in Icelandic?
Yeah. You don't need that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, man, what a pleasure. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rob Paulsen.
Oh, thank you.
Do you understand?
Do
you understand?
That and $5 will get you a latte.
That's right. Now, if there was a ring here, I would kiss it. Thank
God
God
bless
you're not
you.
wearing a ring.
Well, listen, it is a mutual admiration society, and we all go out of our way to compliment one another, and it is utterly authentic. We know how lucky we have been, and as I said earlier, to work with people who have become the best in the world, and they've been your friends, and you've gotten to watch their stars rise. Tress McNeil.
Oh.
I've known Tress since she was a cocktail waitress at Charlie Brown's in Marina Del Rey. 1979, I met her. She is, without question now, the most successful, prodigious female voice talent in the history of Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
600 Simpsons alone.
Oh, my God.
Dot Warner, Babs Bunny, Crazy Cat Lady, Mom on Futurama. And over again.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Right? Yeah, you name
Gadget.
it. Crazy. And Cruella de Vil, all of it.
Yeah.
And she still has Ash's baby picture on her refrigerator.
Oh, that's his son, by the way.
That's my son. And I say to her sometimes, look, and I'm dead serious, you are now filthy stinking rich. Like you should be. She lives in Imogene Coca's old home.
Yeah.
In the flats of Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
With her fabulous husband, Mike.
Yeah.
And I said, honey, I mean, I know you probably think of it, but do you really grasp what you've done?
Yeah. Yeah.
And she said, well, I've been really lucky.
No,
you
we've
get a
been really
crack
lucky.
at it. Yeah. If you're around long enough, you get a shot.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
Till you're in your 70s. That ain't luck. And
No.
she proves it every goddamn time she opens her mouth. It's outrageous how talented she is. And again, no pretense, just really cool.
Yeah. And one of my favorite things was just a little tidbit here. It was one of the early, it wasn't Weird Al Yankovic, but she did, Oh, Ricky, You're So Fine.
Yeah,
You play bongos all the time. Tony Basil?
Tony Basil.
Yeah.
Oh,
and she was
hey,
Lucy
Ricky.
Ricardo.
Yes. She
On
did a
camera.
great job.
Yeah, and it was really, I couldn't believe it. I saw that and I went, oh, I know her.
I know her.
Yeah.
She was on Cheers a couple of times.
Yeah.
And it was in the Groundlings.
Yeah.
And it was through her that I got to know Phil Hartman really well.
Yeah.
And man,
oh, yeah.
Phil, another
Me
guy.
too. God rest his soul.
He called me October of 1986, and he goes, Robbie, I got it. He was talking about Saturday Night Live. I said, you're kidding. He goes, no, Robbie, I got it, baby. I'm on my way to New York. And well, the rest is history, right?
Yeah.
And the day that he was killed, Tress called me, and she was in hysterics. I was on my way to B&B Sound
everybody
in
was
Burbank.
crushed. I remember
I was
that.
on, right there at Hollywood Way and where there's a shopping center there. It doesn't matter. Starbucks on this corner. And there's a 7-Eleven, kitty corner, Shell station, Verdugo. And she said, what are you doing? I said, I'm driving. I'm like, wait, you okay, honey? She said, no, have you seen the TV? And I said, no, I'm in the car. She said, something going on at Phil's house. I don't know what's on. And he used to live on Encino Avenue off of Ventura Boulevard. And so I got to work, and it was on the television. And I had literally worked with Phil the Friday before he died
Yeah.
on a bank commercial. And this was when he'd already obviously become Phil freaking Hartman.
I did a couple spots with him.
Yeah,
And then
just-
I did this one made for video, Buster and Tubbs or something like that. And
Dave and Buster's,
no.
a restaurant or something, restaurant?
No, oh no. It was a little mini movie.
Oh, cool.
And they were tired of casting. They said, "Oh, just hire Cummings."
Yeah, isn't that great?
So I said, "Oh, okay," But I
When
got
you
to
have a
work
guy
with
like
him, and he was
that-
a great guy.
Yeah,
He was
wonderful
such a
guy.
nice guy.
I remember when I told him I was so enamored,
Yeah,
going, I can't do that.
and his Clinton
Yeah,
would put me away.
and it was Phil. This was before SNL, who said, "Look, I get that, but first of all, I'm 8 years older than you. Secondly, I've been in Hollywood for a long time, and I've got a skill set. You to the extent that I inspire you, that's great. People inspire me too, but you got to do your own thing." And he really put me at ease because I called him to his face. I said, "You are terrifyingly inspirational. I watch you riff, and it's just magical." And of course, the world got to see it. But he was the one who said, "That's great, but you don't have to be me. You find your own way. Steal what you want. I do."
Yeah,
And he just utterly put me at ease. What a
boy, that's
amazing guy. I'm sorry to be on a big
and that's good advice.
turn the punch bowl, but yeah, it is. It really was. So, yeah, all these people who've touched our lives in such incredible ways, and the most important of whom are you guys, the folks out there that drive or fly, stand in line forever, just to tell you through tears how much Tigger means to them.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
So I'm so glad I got to ride it with you, my friend.
Man. Amen. Oh,
What are one of you guys have known each other for so long? What's like one of each of your favorite stories together? Like a story about an experience or something.
Well,
that
it was an
happened with you
experience
guys.
that I enjoyed more times than I can count because I had to find my way to the restroom because I was laughing so hard.
yeah.
Jimmy used to do Mike Tyson.
Oh. Yeah,
And
I forgot about
it-
that.
Lit me.
Oh,
It
God.
was not for public consumption, for sure.
No.
But man,
Oh.
it
yeah.
was Jim Cummings utterly
Unchained.
unchained.
Yeah, those were good times.
Honest to God, Chris, I could not get my breath.
Yeah.
And I would ask him, I'd say, "Jimmy, I'm so sorry, but would you please?" And he would,
Would you have Mike Tyson hand me the salt or something?
Bitch, please. Look here, you know what I'm saying? A brother have to constantly wipe, when we wipe your ass too, your little skinny ass wipe, get your ass over here. I got something for you to do. You know what you can do?
And we
"Oh
just
my
get on
God,
going.
that's it.
And
I can smell the studio."
yeah, oh God.
God,
yeah.
Jimmy. And it was
And-
completely off the cuff
the filthiest.
and so
stuff.
wrong.
Oh,
but-
yeah.
Stuff, look, like we were talking about earlier, Ash and I were doing a panel. The zeitgeist has changed. There are certainly things,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
we can't do
appropriate,
it.
and I get it, and it should be. But
But like we can make jokes
Right.
still, right?
Yeah.
we've been
yeah.
around for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
yeah. Oh, that was.
and that,
oh, yeah.
set
Mike
me
Tyson.
on fire.
Yeah.
and it was
God.
effortless. He
The
just
Tyson,
go into it.
The Tyson Chronicles.
And it would go.
God. It was
And
just
then he would
on and
throw
on.
another one in, "Bitch, please," in the middle of a take or something. And I just couldn't handle it. I had to walk outside and
Yeah.
wet my pants.
You know what I mean? I was at a party, you know what I'm saying? And so I was trying to be a gentleman, you know what I'm saying? And I'd be throwing the bitch over my shoulder. We heading for the closet. She like, "Oh no, God, no, please, Jesus, no, God," teasing.
Oh man.
and that would get me in trouble. And then I did Winnie the Pooh, and I evened it out.
Oh God, Jimmy. You're
and
what a freaking
I got
magician.
back to zero.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, the
Oh, it
Tyson
put me away.
Chronicles. It was just.
Oh my God. Bitch, please.
What about you, Jim? What's one of your favorite memories with Rob?
Oh gosh, well, man, there's just too many. But that'll never come out of Ultra Suede. I know that.
Attaboy, that's a good one. I don't think that'll ever come out of Ultra Suede.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he would go off on a completely politically incorrect, shall we say?
We all did.
Lavender mode.
Oh, Pat Fraley, same thing. We would just poke each other with a stick.
All that stuff, yeah.
And also, a lot of the people who were our de facto mentors of the day were pretty blue. Michael Bell, Bob Ridgely, Joni Gerber.
Yeah.
People who had absolutely no problem getting deep blue. Not, but at the sessions.
Right.
And Bob Ridgely, oh my God. I missed the guy, but there were times when even I was embarrassed. I'm going, Jesus, Bob. You know.
Well, I remember there was a story about you and Ridge doing a commercial. And I think it might have been for the Mormon Church.
Is this the one where you're saying, I wish I could stay,
but
my young friend Rob will
over here.
essentially say, we'll perform sexual acts for you.
Yes.
But I mean, there was a bunch of suits behind this. It was at LA Studios.
Yeah.
And he said, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It was a real pleasure. Now, I do have to go, but my young friend Rob will stay here and he will satisfy you sexually as long as it takes.
As long as yes.
He used it a little more graphic.
Yeah, and he didn't say it like that.
I was like, wow, I don't quite know what to say.
Yeah. And Rob's standing there. He's like 30 years old.
Can I do that?
Yeah. Are you sure?
I swing from that side of the plate, but
Yeah.
And check this out. We were Ash and Parrish and I were on our way down to San Diego for spring break.
Son and wife, by the way.
Yeah, and we took the North Carolina, and we took the train, and we were there. It was time for dinner, so I said, okay, I'm going to go walk through the next passenger car to the meal car and get some food. My hand to God, I walk in, and I hear, there he is, honey. There's the young man I was talking about. The man with the perfect package. Hello. It was Ridgely.
Oh, Jesus.
I had no, and he's there with his
man.
wife who's going like this. And Bob, the train was full of commuters. And he's going, hi, come here. Look at his package, honey.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no.
Just out of the blue. Oh. And everybody around him he didn't give a shit. He was.
No, And just a point of reference that might give you a visual on this chap. He was in Tom Hanks' movie.
Yes. Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, where there was a young man with that proclivity, and he had this one line.
He was so good in that.
About, oh my God. And he said the most off-color joke possible, and yogurt was involved.
Yeah.
But
he was a terrific actor.
Yeah, and he was a terrific actor.
He was the Colonel James, I think it was the name, in Boogie Nights, where he played that producer who was real kind of skeevy and terrific actor. He played in Robin Hood Men in Tights. He played the hangman.
Oh yeah, he was the he was
like
the executioner.
The executioner in High Anxiety. Mel loved him.
Yeah,
and he was in high anxiety at some guy who, flashes Mel Brooks in the bathroom, the men's room, and Mel goes, "I've seen better," whatever. And he was always just utterly wrong, but perfectly right.
Completely
in so many
inappropriate.
Ways.
Yeah.
So
he would be flogged in public these days.
Yeah, but those guys, Bob Ridgely, Ronnie Shell. Oh my God, those guys were. They're people we grew up watching on Hogan's Heroes and Gomer Pyle and F Troop and oh my God,
and Jonathan Edwards, Jonathan
Harris.
Jonathan Harris,
yes, from Dr. Smith on Lost in Space.
Dr. Smith on Lost in Space.
Oh dear, how are you, how are you, Robbie, my boy?
Yes.
Nice to see you. Oh, the pain.
Yes, that guy. God, yeah,
crazy.
We are, my goal is to live long enough to have the next generation say, and then Cummings would do arm parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Rob came in and sung that stupid song about all the countries.
Yeah.
No, I could do this for 2 days with you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. This has been a lot of fun.
It's been great. Well, I'll tell you what, you guys,
you're
listening to the King, Jimmy Cummings at JC.
There we go.
Yeah.
Big coincidence.
Yeah.
Rob, thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
Rob
Thanks,
Paulsen.
Chris. And
Accept no
thank you guys.
substitutes.
I don't think I've been this utterly happy in a
Yeah.
long time. Thank you, my brother.